Hi, I'm Adam, and I've been away for the last 3 weeks, sort of working, and just came back recently, so I've had time to write something. We'll see how long it winds up taking. I met Peter. We met on the 18th of September 2001, 1 week after the famous date, so it was always very easy to remember once we eventually agreed on what the date had been at the time. And we met on the internet. There will be a brief pause for everybody to do nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But be that as it may, the internet, there's a lot to be said for the internet, for somebody like Peter, who had known for ages that he was gay, but was not ready to talk to anybody about it. And so we met, and nice guy to start with, and we kept on hanging around. And then please let me know if this is too much information. And I've always sort of been of the opinion that I can do bad by myself. It's like, I don't have to be around anybody else. If I'm going to be with somebody else, it has to be an improvement. And I realized eventually being with him was an improvement. He was a very comfortable person to be around. And I didn't really take him seriously as relationship material at first. But after a while it became obvious that this might be going somewhere. And so I said to him at some point, a few months after we'd met, that I'd come out, so when I was 16, a quarter of a century ago at that time, and I wasn't prepared to go back in for anybody. So if he was going to stay around with me, he had to acknowledge me at some point to other people. Didn't have to be now, didn't even have to be soon, but at some point that had to be a long-term goal. And he was very calm about it, and nothing sort of happened for a while, and then eventually it happened. And from being the mysterious girlfriend in South London, yes. The one whom I'm told everybody assumed was supposed to be real ugly because he would never bring her to meet his friends. But no, eventually he did start telling people, and by that point, I mean that was only a couple of years ago, and by that point we were in a relationship. And there was a quote I came across a while ago from a film, Susan Sarandon, in a film called Will You Dance, which isn't a great film, but she's always worth watching. And there's a sequence where she says, well, why do people have relationships? I mean, they're a lot of trouble, you have to keep them up, the sex wears off eventually. And she said it's because we need a witness to our lives. It's like there's a billion people on the planet, and what does any one life really matter? But in a relationship, you're promising to care about everything. So the good things, the bad, the terrible things, the mundane things, all of it, all the time, every day. And you're saying, your life will not go unnoticed because I'll notice it. So your life will not go unwitnessed because I will be your witness. And I'm glad to see so many people here tonight who are witnesses to Peter's life also. So that was the beginning, then there's the middle. And we went places, we went to Amsterdam, and I remember his delight with the civilized attitude of being able to go to a cafe and open a menu full of different kinds of dope and choose, discuss with the sommelier which kind he wanted. And we went to Italy and had haute cuisine in Liguria. And we went to Mexico, where a bunch of Mexican teenagers insisted on being photographed with him because they thought he looked like Snoop Doggy Dogg. And I took him to Canada and got him one of the photos there you'll see is of him doing gang gestures in inappropriately rural settings, which amused me for some reason, I don't know why. And we met each other's families. My father is sort of getting old and curmudgeonly and really doesn't like anybody much these days, but he liked Peter very much, and Peter liked him, which kind of came as a surprise. A friend of my brother's said, it's like, wow, you bring your brother to meet your family, and he's black, and he has dreadlocks. Cool. And I met his family, and they turned out to be lovely, and in particular his mother turned out to be not this scary Jamaican church lady with a fierce hat, but which is what I've been expecting, but a very, very lovely woman. And yeah, it was life. And so he complained about my work trips and my snoring, and I complained about his usual responses. It's like I don't mind. Yeah, give an opinion, for God's sake. And then there's a poem which I came across a while ago, which I thought was good for this bit. It's, do you take this man to be your lawful wedded chap and bloke, to pool your records and your books, to designate who cleans, who cooks, unblocks the drains, puts shelving up while burnishing the loving cup? Do you take this geezer guy to face the slings as time slips by, of taught parental prejudice, while striking out for wedded bliss, till Mum comes round to visit you, then after several years, Dad too? Do you take this mush, this John, to split the normal carry-on, deflea the cat, hose down the dog, or bend the ballcock on the bog, rake out the cinders, set the fire, and then defluff the tumble dryer? Since after kisses, cakes, and rings, marriage is about such things. The group of friends who'll pack the room, for bride and bride, or groom and groom, bring toasters, kettles, cruet sets, the same as they now do for heads, who demonstrate the need to be handcuffed through all eternity. So, if you take this man, this dude, whatever moral good accrued, in love, commitment, piety, a statement to society, they'll understand it well enough. It's marriage, Chief. It's normal stuff. Thanks. So, we came to the beginning of this year, and I've been working and have been away a lot last year, and so we thought, great, let's go to Trinidad. We had a great time. And so we went there, and we had a great time. And at one point, I remember saying to Peter that if somebody had said to you 10 or even 5 years ago that you'd be vacationing with your boyfriend in Trinidad and going with him to visit your mother the following week and dragging a Haji out to a gay dance, it's like,